What's up, guys? How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. We appreciate you. Today we have Pac-Man for GOAT format. Before we get into it, I just want to say that we do GOAT, Edison, Tengu, Hat, all those niche retro formats here, so we got it all. Like and subscribe for more. Here we go, Pac-Man. If you're unfamiliar with this deck, the whole point of the deck is to have monsters that have the ability to flip themselves face down once per turn, flip back up and gain advantage by some means. It's basically to outground your opponent. Pretty sure it stands for Pure Advantage Camel Munches All Noobs. Yeah, that's what it stands for. And this is the camel, the main man himself, Des Lakuta. So let's get straight into the cards and explain what they do and why we're playing the cards we're playing. So we're going to be maxing out on pretty much all the flip monsters because we have an ultimate stall strategy. We got 3 Des Lakuta, 3 Swarm of Scarabs, 3 Medusa Worm, 3 Swarm of Locusts, 3 Golem Sentry, and 3 Stealth Bird. So we're literally playing 3 of all the good Pac-Man monsters in the format. Again, Pac-Man, let me explain what makes them that monster. It says once per turn you can flip this card in face down defense position, and that's what they all say. They all start with that. So you can, once per turn you can flip it up yourself and then use its effect to flip it face back down. They essentially go back into hiding, and then when they flip up they'll have an effect. So Des Lakuta, he's the main one in the deck. He says when this card is flip summoned you can draw 1 card. Swarm of Scarabs and Medusa have the same effect. They say that if this card is flip summoned, target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. Yes. And then Swarm of Locusts. This one is for spells and traps. It says if this card is flip summoned, destroy 1 spell or trap your opponent controls. Golem Sentry. He returns 1 monster your opponent's side of the field to their hand. And Stealth Bird. This one inflicts 1,000 damage to your opponent's life points. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 18 Pac-Man monsters. We want to see them, but we don't want to see them as much as our spells and traps because that's our stall strategy with those. So we're playing 22 spells and traps and 18 monsters. I feel like that's a good deck count in order to see as many stall cards as possible while also seeing at least some monsters. I don't want to play 20-20 ratio, and I also don't want to play more monsters than spells and traps. That would just be really bad. So that's it for the monsters. On to the spells and traps. So in order to keep these guys doing what they're doing, we have to make sure our opponent's not attacking us. We're going to do a lot of chip damage. Our win condition is still battle damage. You can see these guys are like 1,500, 800, 700. These guys don't have more than 1,000 attack. Most of them are in the 500 range. So we have to keep chipping away at those life points. Obviously, Stealth Bird is 1,000 when it's flipped, but we can't attack over stuff. So we have to keep popping stuff and keep the advantage going. So to start with, we're playing Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, and Delinquent Duo. This is a grind deck. We're trying to outgrind our opponent. And these cards say +1. This one says neutral, but dig through your deck and rearrange your hand. And this one says +1 by discarding 2 cards from your opponent's hand. You're trading this 1 card for their 2, so you go +1 on the interaction. So we want to get as many pluses as we can and start to outgrind them as quickly as possible. So you got to play Trinity. We're still playing it. Next up for the stall spells, we're playing 1 Swords of Revealing Light, 2 Level Limit Area B, and 3 Messenger of Peace. Let me point out something. We got level 3, 3, 2, 3. We only have 1 level 4, which is Golem Sentry. So Golem Sentry is the only one that cannot attack under Level Limit Area B or Gravity Bind. So most of our monsters are level 3 and lowers. So they can attack under Level Limit Area B and Gravity Bind both. And then all of them are lower than 1,500 attack. So they all can attack under Messenger of Peace. Obviously, Swords of Revealing Light's a one-way street, so they can attack under that. Then for defensively, we're playing, for the traps, we're playing 1 Mirror Force, 1 Ring of Destruction. We're opting to not play Torrential Tribute because we tend to have the advantage on our opponent. At least that's what we're going for. So there's no scenario where we really want to sacrifice a card slot in the deck for Torrential Tribute, when Torrential Tribute basically is no shit button. And I want to have as many cards as possible to increase likelihood of never getting there, because we're all in on a rogue deck. So there's really no reason to have insurance policy for a deck that needs to have everything hedging its bets towards what it's trying to accomplish to begin with. So Torrential Tribute, in my opinion, is a wasted slot. Just do what makes sense for the strategy and try and max out on that. Next up, we have 2 Gravity Bind. I forgot to mention, but Level Limit Area B and Gravity Bind are both semi-limited, so we can't play more than that. We got 3 Wall of Revealing Light. So that is us maxing out essentially on the stall cards of the format, being the 3-piece, the 3 Wall of Revealing Light, the 1 Swords, the 2 Level Limit Area B, and the 2 Gravity Bind. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 stall cards, which is really good. It increases our chances of seeing that opening hand, and definitely multiples of it. It's a really good likelihood of seeing it. In order to protect everything we're doing, we have, most of this to protect all of this, and then we have what's up next to protect all of this. We're maxing the hell out on it. We're playing 3 Solemn Judgment and 3 Spell Shield Type B. That's another big reason why I wanted to max out on the spells. And also, I should say now, you should prioritize laying down the traps first, because you want the traps to be there so that you can hold a spell to potentially use that to protect against Heavy Storm with Spell Shield Type 8. Sometimes it's good to have both in case they pop up Decree, maybe 1 and 1. But as the game goes on and you start to draw a lot of cards with Destalacuta, you're going to start to build up a lot of spells in your hand, so always keep one available for Spell Shield Type 8. Solemn Judgment, of course, is an old man says no to everything, so we need that. We need it for MSTs, Mystical Space Typhoons, or that's the same card, right? Heavy Storms. Opponent's Torrential Tribute, like I said, that's really bad for us because we often get to the point where we have like 3 to 5 monsters on field, so Torrential Tribute usually is like a one-sided benefit. We put a lot of them on the field and we don't want to Torrential Tribute our own cards, but we definitely want to stop theirs. Spell Shield Type 8, if you're unfamiliar with it, I'll read it real quick. It says, select and activate one of the following effects. Negate the activation and effect of a spell card that targets 1 monster on the field and destroy the target. Or destroy the spell card, I mean. So because we put all these monsters face down, they are all very susceptible to Nobleman of Crossout. This is essentially a free 1-for-1 with Nobleman of Crossout if they're trying to get rid of one of your monsters. Generally, I'll let it go through. It's not that big of a deal. I'd rather save this for like a Heavy Storm or MST. But if you already have this down in conjunction with like a Solemn, maybe like 2 Solemns and like 2 stall cards, you can definitely, and you have like another one of these in hand, you can definitely go 1-for-1 just to trade for your advantage, especially if they're hitting a Destalacuta, your draw power. The other ones I'll probably let it go through. And then secondly, the send 1 spell card from your hand to the graveyard to negate the activation and effect of a spell card and destroy it. That's the second effect. That's basically going to be our backup against Heavy Storm in case we don't have a Solemn Judgment. But yeah, that's it for the profile, guys. If you'd make any changes, let me know down below. I'm always looking to learn from you guys. You guys have a lot of good information. And if you like Goat, Edison, Tengu, hat format, subscribe and like for more. We appreciate you.